Don't you know it?
We've come this far by faith. In telling the story of blacks in the United States, the story is inexplicably intertwined with the story of faith, a faith that to some is hard to understand. The black church is a term that has come to reference the practice of Christianity by blacks in the United States. It evolved from the phrase the Negro Church, the title of pioneering sociological study by Du Bois of African American Protestant churches at the turn of the century. The phrase was largely academic at a time when most blacks did not think of themselves as belonging to the Negro Church, but rather thought of themselves by denominational affiliations. One cannot tell the story of the black experience in America without looking at the black church and its role in American history, particularly in slavery, Reconstruction, the Great Migration, the Civil Rights Movement, and in current times. The black church has often been at the forefront of political and social movements, created traditions, been deeply entrenched neighborhood fixtures, and has also been at the forefront in the creation of new types of theologies. The beginning of black church in America can be tracked back to slavery. Its birth is said to have coincided with the Great Awakening, a period between the 1730s and the 40s of great revivalism in the colonies where the importance of church doctrine was minimized and individual spiritual experience was emphasized. During this time, numerous slaves converted to faiths such as the Methodist and Baptist denominations of Christianity. Clergy within these denominations were known to denounce slavery and actively promote the belief that all Christians, black and white, were equal in the sight of God. A message of strength and hope to the slaves, they also encouraged worship in ways that many slaves found to be similar to native worship patterns. Enthusiastic singing, clapping, dancing, and even spirit possession. After whites used the plantation church on Sunday mornings, black preachers would deliver sermons from there to the slaves. The preachers, in order not to face retribution, would act as though the mouthpieces of the masters and such would deliver sermons in which they directed the slaves to be subservient to their masters in order to enter heaven. Knowing that they were not receiving a true word, the slaves held a secret meetings known as Invisible Church, where they would meet a few times to pray for better things. At Invisible Church, the slaves incorporated Wesleyan Methodist hymns, gospel songs, and spirituals into their worship. Black religious meetings symbolized the ultimate threat to white existence, as many slave insurrections were born out of the religious inspiration of slaves, such as Nat Turner's rebellion. Whites closely watched the gathering of slaves in attendance at Invisible Church. Could mean life or death, as a slave could be killed if discovered for taking part in it. The oldest black church in the United States is highly contested debate with both the First African Baptist Church of Savannah and the First Baptist Church of PETERSBURG, vying for the claim. In 1790, the oldest black Baptist church in Kentucky and the third oldest in the United States, also named the First African Baptist Church, was founded by the slave Peter Durrett. Interestingly, the congregations of these institutions were made up of both enslaved and free blacks together. After slavery was abolished in the United States, free blacks continued to establish separate congregations, establishing currently distinct churches. They practiced a Christianity that incorporated creolized African spiritual traditions. Segregationist attitudes in both the North and South discouraged and prevented blacks from worshiping in the same churches as whites. It was during these times of abolition, Reconstruction, and separate but inherently unequal that many black churches were founded. Some that are still in existence today, such as the Abyssinian Baptist Church, founded in 1808 in New York City, the African Methodist Episcopal Church, founded in 1816 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Concord Baptist Church, founded in 1847 in Brooklyn, New York. These churches would prove to be more than places of worship, but would be at the forefront of blacks establishing themselves as whole citizens of the United States, acquiring all rights and privileges afforded to whites. These institutions provided leadership to the black community in extraordinary ways by developing benevolent societies and community care, encouraging education, both religious and secular, and providing a platform for social activism. Between 1890 and 1930, 2.5 million blacks left the South and relocated to the North. This influx of Southern blacks transformed Northern black Protestant churches and created what historians Wallace Best called a new sacred order. Accustomed to a more emotional style for worship, Southerners imbued churches with a folk religious sensibility. The distinctive Southern musical idiom known as the blues evolved into gospel music. The themes of exile and deliverance influenced the theological orientation of the northern churches. The Reverend Lacey K. Williams of Olivet Baptist Church, the oldest Baptist church in Chicago, in an essay published in Chicago Sunday Tribune in 1929, stated that black churches needed to respond to both the practical and spiritual needs of the people, that the churches must be passionately human, but no less divine. Under Williams' leadership, Olivet developed a program of progressive social reform, reaching out to new migrants, providing them with social services, and knitting them into the large church community. Olivet Church became the largest black church and the largest Protestant church in the entire nation. In the wake of civil rights era, the black church became the institutional center for black mobilization in the ongoing fight against separate and inherently unequal and the oppression of Jim Crow laws in the United States. The black church ushered into existence a wave of minister activists who would change the way that the fight of justice would be handled. As a result of black churches serving as the epicenter of the fight for social and political equality, they increasingly became the targets of racially motivated violence. Many groups, in particular the Ku Klux Klan, started campaigns of bombing and burning black churches, which essentially equaled an attack upon the core of civil rights activism, as well as upon the largest black religious community. The most infamous of these acts occurred on September 15, 1963, at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, which left 4 little girls, Addie Mae Collins, Carol Lee Robertson, and Cynthia Wesley, and Denise McNair, dead, and 22 others injured. While these incidents destroyed many blacks' sense of security within their church, it could not destroy the soul of the black church community, and the black church pressed on with great hope of the change to come. In the late 1960s, the black church continued in the fight against racism, but also took on other issues, waging wars against poverty, gang violence, and drug use. The black church also moved into more social engagement by forming prison ministries, homes for the aged, and etc. Also, the great importance during this time is the development of the black liberation theology. The genesis of this theology perspective is traced back to July 31st, 1966, when a group of 51 black pastors, calling themselves the National Committee of Negro Churchmen, bought a full-page ad in the New York Times publishing their Black Power statement, which proposed a more aggressive approach to combating racism using the Bible for inspiration. In 1969, James Cone, considered one of the first theologians of this belief, published the seminal work that laid the basis for black liberation theology, Black Theology and Black Power. In the work, Cone asserted that not only was black power not alien to the gospel, it was in fact the gospel message for all 20th century America. The formation of this theology was a critical juncture within the black church, as it's estimated that in the 21st century, at least a quarter of churches with black members follow some sort of liberation theology. This theology was most recently thrust into the national spotlight in 2008 after controversy arose related to preaching by Reverend Jeremiah Wright, former pastor to the Senator Barack Obama at Trinity United Church of Christ in Chicago, Illinois. The current role of Black church in the post-civil rights era has been subject of lively debate among Black scholars. Some have argued that Black church was dead, that it lost its prophetic and progressive voice and its capacity to mobilize for reform. However, in light of the Trayvon Martin story and the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, we saw awakening in the Black church. Dr. Jonathan Walton, the Plummer Professor of Christian Morals and Pusey Ministry in the Memorial Church and Professor of Religion and Society of Harvard Divinity School, has been quoted as saying that for more than 300 years, the Black church in America has provided safe haven for Black Christians in the nation, shadowed by the legacy of slavery in a society that remains defined by the race and class. Inspired by the story of Exodus, Blacks can think out, pray out, and shout out their anger and aspirations, free from the unstated yet powerful constraints that govern dialogue with larger white society. In the pulpit and pews in choir lofts in Sunday schools, the Black church continues to offer affirmation and dignity to the people still searching for equality and justice, still willing to reach out for a more inclusive, embracing tomorrow. To this, we can say a resounding amen. Tell the story of the Black church, our story of coming this far by faith.